What's up, jammies? Welcome back to another episode of Ricky's Ram Jam presented by Barefoot Wine, and the wine is flowing. Oh yeah, I wish I had it on tap. That's another thing, Barefoot, we need to talk about. I know the Halloween seasonal wines didn't come to fruition. Fruition, get it? Fruit wine. I'm on fire today, you guys. But on tap, just some Barefoot wine. Just douse me with it, because what an exhilarating win over the Seahawks this past weekend, 17-16 in dramatic fashion. More on that in a little bit. After the Thanksgiving holiday, the Rams traveled to Arizona to face the Cardinals on Sunday in another divisional matchup. Omar Ruiz from NFL Network will be joining me soon, but first, a few housekeeping items. Unfortunately, Kevin Demoff, Rams COO, did not come to flag football last night. We had a doubleheader, 8:30 to 9:30, and we did lose both. Was that on him? He told me that the Ram Jam would be canceled if we didn't win against the Seahawks, and we won. So the Ram Jam lives on to see another day. But where was Kevin? This is my public, what's the word? Decree? Like, we need to talk, Kevin. No, I texted him. He had other things to do. He's way more important than to come to flag. But it was really fun. We volunteered at a place called Home Thanksgiving Meal and Turkey Distribution to make sure no one in the neighborhood went hungry for Thanksgiving. It was a great celebration featuring fun activities, good food, and spreading the love. So thankful for the Rams and all that they do within the community, especially during the holidays, to give back. And it was really heartwarming and great. I'm feeling so thankful this year. My plans are to stay home and watch football and have friends over and eat and drink the day away. Speaking of drinking, because that's what we do here, jammies, don't we? Let's raise a toast to my good friend and amazing colleague. He's a reporter for NFL Network and a damn good one and a handsome devil. It's Omar Ruiz. Omar, hi.
Ricky, Hollywood, Erica, great to be with you. Great to see you. I'm glad I ran into you at the game on Sunday. Had been too long. I appreciate that intro. But yeah, always great to be with you and, talk ball with you.
I know. It's so great. I mean, selfishly, I really was hoping that your three perfect, beautiful little girls would be with you and I could talk to them, not you, but it's okay. I'll make do with what I have. For sure.
Well, if we're being honest, they'd probably prefer to hang out with you too, rather than me. But it's funny. When we were in Georgia all together, that picture of you guys in the photo booth recently surfaced. In the house and everything. They got so happy to see it and kind of relive that weekend and everything. And so they send their regards. They were happy when I told them I ran into you on Sunday. And yeah, hopefully we can all hang out again soon.
Yeah, I love your family so much. So, Omar, welcome to Ricky's Ram Jam. We just talked about we ran into each other on Sunday, and you got to watch the Rams win over the Seahawks. How was your game day experience?
Oh, it was awesome. A trip to SoFi is always an incredible experience, given the world-class facility that it is. And, our house is down the street from SoFi. So for the first time, I went for a jog in the morning. Beautiful 65, 70 degree morning at 8 o'clock, jogged around the lake, the stadium, kind of took it all in. Cars were starting to file in at that point, getting ready for the tailgate. And it really kind of started the day. And going to a game like this, where for years I've covered the Rams, for years I've covered the Seahawks, you have so many friends and acquaintances on both sides. And, to be honest, Ricky, you know how it works with our industry. We cover the teams that win a lot,
right.
Especially NFL Network. And, the Rams the last, season and a half haven't won at the clip that they used to. And so I haven't really seen too many, of the Rams friends in a long time. And then with the Seahawks, they kind of came on late last year. So I hadn't really covered them in a while. I hadn't seen a bunch of those people. So it was really great to kind of see everybody, kind of a reunion type of atmosphere on both sides. And then the game was awesome. I mean,
right.
Just to have, it come down the stretch like that and the Rams to battle back and get the last, couple minute win and to hold off the Seahawks late rally. It was just a great day of football. And I think, what the NFL is all about, at least for me, the relationships, the competitiveness, all of that encompassed into my Sunday game day experience.
Yeah, and it was a battle back. It was a must-win game. And the way the Rams came from behind, what does it say to you about the makeup of this team now that you did get to get a chance to see them?
Yeah, it's a tough, resilient group. And I think Sean McVay, after the game, put it best. You need to win games like that when you're rebuilding, when you're forming an identity, when the new nucleus of this team is kind of being formed right now for a team that we hope down the road becomes a contender once again. It's games like this that lay the foundation for how to win. You can compete all you want, but until they learn how to win and close out games the way they did on Sunday, it's not something that you can just talk about. You have to do it. And so I think they made big plays when they had to. I don't think Seattle made huge mistakes by any stretch. I think the Rams closed. The Rams played better. They made the plays that they had to, and I think that's a great sign for the future here.
And the defense dominated Seattle once again in the second half. The job that Raheem Morris has done with this young defense has been nothing but super impressive.
Unbelievable. And it was good to see Raheem before the game. He had some of his old youth basketball coaches in town from his New Jersey days from when he was 11, 12 years old, reminiscing about, trips to Puerto Rico and the different tournaments he played in, but was real loose, real confident, and it showed the way his defense played. I think they played that same way, loose, confident. And of course, whenever you have Aaron Donald to dictate terms to opposing offenses, it's a good thing. And he certainly showed up. But Darion Kendrick, as fantastic of a game as he had, and to get the big interception and just really a thorough game by him. And the things I appreciate, in seeing teams and covering their drafts and seeing a guy like Quentin Lake, who kind of started slowly in his career, but for him to have emerged as a player now and to see him making plays and being a consistent performer. And then, obviously Ernest Jones played in the Super Bowl and had a key role as a rookie year in helping that great team. But now he's one of the leaders. And for him to this be kind of like his defense, so to speak, I think as long as Aaron Donald's around, it's truly his. But for Ernest to be one of those leaders on that defense and to come back and play well the way he did, I think it's all, good signs for the future and a tremendous job by Raheem Morris.
Absolutely. Last year, Ernest talked about what it was like to learn under Bobby Wagner when Bobby spent a season with the Rams, and then to play against them. And then Ernest all over the field, leading the team with 12 tackles in that game. I mean, he's the green dot. He was so important to this defense. You add that with Byron Young, the rookie, and Kobe Turner, the conductor, who had a great game. It was so important to have Ernest back in this defense. Also, Aaron Donald is cycling quarterbacks. He put Geno out of the game. It is ridiculous. So to see this young team come together and step up, like you just said, has been so cool to watch. Both quarterbacks, like I just said, were banged up on Sunday. Matthew Stafford took a huge hit, and Geno Smith was legitimately crushed by Aaron Donald. Is there a tougher guy on planet Earth than Matthew Stafford?
I'm glad you brought him up, because if there is, I haven't seen it. And it is just so incredible to watch the way he consistently performs when he's not 100%, the toughness that he shows. And he really has his whole career. And I think a lot of it got lost in the Detroit days. They didn't win too much there. But, around the league, people always appreciated that. And obviously, since Matthew has come to Los Angeles and win a Super Bowl and become the huge star that he's become, I think we almost take it for granted at this point. And for him to show that once again, to not just battle it out and fight through the injury, but to lead, big time fourth quarter drives and move into, I think, 7th place all time in game winning drives, 6th place all time, fourth quarter comebacks, I think just, says enough in and of itself of his performances, but that toughness is just, and you talk to people in the Rams staff, and obviously we don't see, as much behind the scenes of everything that he does to get himself ready. And it's just an incredible display of toughness. And I'm glad the NFL world got to see it once again on Sunday.
Yeah. Just think of, first of all, the viral clip of him in Detroit, popping his shoulder back in, which everyone has seen. And then I think about even earlier this season where he had one hip that he was just hopping around and wouldn't come out of the game. And it's Matthew, and then still was just no, I'm good. I'm fine. I'm going to make it happen. And it's when he's in the lineup, it is better for the Rams. And adding Carson Wentz is exciting too. And so I feel very confident in the backup room now, which is great. But the running game was going this weekend against Seattle, which was really needed. But the Rams are expected to get Kyren Williams back on Sunday versus Arizona. How much better does that make this offense?
Oh, incredibly. I thought the 4th and 2 that they didn't convert, or the 4th and goal, at the 2 that they didn't convert, was where Kyron Williams makes a
Right.
difference. That tough short yardage situation that you need, to keep drives alive on third downs, or in the goal line situation that they did, was obvious that they were missing that, and they have missed that. And so to get him back, after a win like they had on Sunday, boost in confidence, beating a divisional rival, divisional contender, going against another one on Sunday in the Cardinals will be huge for that offense. And I think we'll allow them, the Rams, Sean McVay, to be a little more balanced, to have a little more confidence, to be able to lie on the run. As great as Royce Freeman was on Sunday, and I think, you got to tip your cap to him,
Right.
because, the way he ran, and as hard as he ran, so physical, was impressive. But I think Kyron, gives them, at the very least, the depth
Right.
to be able to stick with the run like they did in the second half. And you can tell it kind of wore down the Seahawks run defense. And I don't think they were expecting, I don't think the Seahawks were expecting, when they took that lead, that the Rams were going to stick with the run, because obviously, in the second half, usually teams, they start passing to get back into the game, and I think it caught the Seahawks off guard a little bit, and even Pete Carroll said, we have to do a better job adapting. So I think the fact that McVay and the Rams stuck with the run, they're able to rely on Royce. Now bodes well for getting Kyron back, that even more reliance on that run game, which then obviously sets up everything else.
Yeah, and then now Cooper Kupp is day to day with an ankle injury, so Puka will likely be the focus again. And this question has been the theme for my show, for a lot of different people, for NFL Network. It's been said a million times, but in your own words, like, how impressive and as important is this 5th round pick been to this Rams offense? Like Puka Shell Nakua, as they've been saying on air.
It's unbelievable the way he just, the interesting thing is that in training camp, everybody was talking about him like, oh, he's flashing. But how often do we hear that?
Right.
Every single team, every single training camp has this guy who flashes, and we don't hear from them for a couple of
Yeah.
years, when they start to develop, these kind of later round rookies or whatever. But for Puka Nacua to get that praise and then deliver right out the gate, week one, was impressive in and of itself. And for him to kind of, I think they needed the bye. He needed the bye, kind of rest up, heal up. Talking to some of the coaches, the first 3 games of the preseason, the first 9 weeks of the regular season, that's like a full college year. And so, kind of getting used to the physical nature of the NFL, and just the longevity of the season is something that I think he had to adjust to. And now that he has, to come back and lead the team in receiving. And I think obviously the next step for him will be, especially if Cooper can't go when he is the focal point, to still be able to produce like that, which he showed first early on in the season. And I think he'll be able to do that once again. But to your point and question, just incredibly impressive. And for me, that was the first time, I think, maybe since training camp, that I had seen him, been up close to him in person. What a big guy he is. He's just like a big man, and but moves so gracefully on the field, and has been so fun to watch this season.
And he's such a personality too, which personally I love. Like, okay, great. He not only is such a superstar on the field, but to have this young team has brought such a new energy and a new vibe to the, and it's just like really fun to watch as well too, which
Mm-hmm.
we'll talk about it too. So before we go into what we're thankful for, I was just talking about the Rams defense. The offense is getting back to where it should be. What are some of the ways that this defense goes about slowing down Kyler Murray and the Cards offense this weekend in the desert?
Well, I think they got to slow down the run game for Kyler Murray, because, I think that's his signature skill set, right? Being able to keep plays alive. And you looked at, his return, his debut against the Falcons a couple weeks ago, and he had several plays that seemed like they were 10 seconds
Right.
or more. And when he can break down a defense like that, it's impossible for any NFL defense to cover for 10 to 15 seconds. Kyler Murray's going to make you pay, whether he runs for the first down, or whether he finds the open receiver. So taking that aspect of his game away. Now, Kyler's a great passer as well, but I think if you can contain him, keep him in the pocket, and if you can get the strong secondary play that the Rams got on Sunday to continue this Sunday, I think that's the way to slow down the Cardinals.
So it's Thanksgiving tomorrow, and I just feel like we should do something, things that we're thankful for, Ramley edition. So you want to do like what, three each, maybe?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay,
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
start.
Happy
Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
happy Thanksgiving
Okay.
to all the jammies out there. So my first one, what I'm thankful for is that love and light and fun still exist. Breaking the November losing streak, they haven't won. The Rams have not won in November since 2020, which is such an absurd stat. But to see the Rams players in the locker room dancing, having so much fun after sweeping the Seahawks, like that was just such a fun moment, and I'm just like very thankful that that exists regardless of seasons, and it's just to see their hard work pay off and just like the love and joy that came out of the locker room on Sunday, like very thankful for that.
Yeah, it's been awesome to hear throughout the NFL, teams talking about just having fun again and,
Right.
and kind of playing loose and light. And so it's good to see the Rams have that moment. First thing I'm going to say that I'm thankful for, Rams related, this year was when Aaron Donald had that hit on Geno Smith that injured him. It made me think of 2018 at the Coliseum when he did the same thing to Drew Brees, and Drew Brees, knocked his helmet, Aaron Donald's helmet, and Brees was out for a significant amount of time. And it just kind of got me thinking that how thankful I am that I've been able to cover all of Aaron Donald's career, going back to St. Louis, and just what an impressive career he's had, what an incredible person he is. And I just felt so thankful and appreciative that this, future first ballot Hall of Famer, been able to witness so many great moments in his career. And that kind of, made me feel a little nostalgic and thankful of that.
Yeah, it's so cool that we're witnessing history play out in front of our eyes. I totally agree with that. I'm thankful for this rookie class. I think there was a lot of, chatter in the media about a rebuild and what, not really, like lower expectations than normal for the Rams. And this rookie class has just been so dominant, so fun to watch on the field, so fun to be the talk of the town and the league, where you have Puka showing out, and Byron and Kobe and Steve Avila, who is just positioned himself with that starter job on the O line, which was so desperately needed, who is such a personality too. Like it is, I'm just so thankful for this rookie class, and it's really fun to watch.
Well, if you're going for the rookies, I'm going for one of the seasoned vets. And we talked a little bit about it earlier, but Matthew Stafford, being able to see him perform in the clutch through injury on Sunday the way we did. And again, feeling nostalgic about that after all the great moments that he's delivered in his career. And I think just in general, also the last couple of years, obviously, fighting through injury and the Rams, just trying to come up with ways to win, and Matthew Stafford being a big part of that. And to see that he still has it, he can still, lead these drives and make impressive throws. And I think he missed a couple on Sunday that he said he'd like to have back for sure. But the fact that he's still playing at a high level, battling through injuries, showing off, the skill set that has endeared him to fans across the country, is something I'm thankful for as well.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, he is really amazing. And lastly, my third one is I am so thankful that the Rams are not playing on Thanksgiving Day. I get to eat a ton of food, stay in pajamas, drink a lot of barefoot wine, just be all fat and sassy and not have to worry about watching the Rams and be yelling at my TV excited, which is great. I would love to watch them, but my Thanksgiving is going to be just exactly what I said. I get to relax and kind of store up food. We're hibernating for the winter, just really pack it in for Sunday to be full focus on Arizona.
I'll be thinking of that tomorrow when I'm on the sidelines there in Seattle for Seahawks 49ers
Yeah, good
on
luck. Good luck.
Thanksgiving
Yeah,
night.
think about me in my pajamas, barefoot wine on the couch with like my third plate of food.
My third thing I'm thankful for is obviously the Rams announced recently they're going to put a new facility in Woodland Hills and be that much closer to us. And as much as I've loved my drives out to Thousand Oaks and taking the coast back through Malibu, sometimes it's 2.5 hours
Oof.
with traffic to get out there. So I'm looking forward to having the Rams closer, being able to cover them kind of more often, just simply when you want to drop in and say hi to people. And so that way, like I said, when I saw people, on the sidelines on Sunday, it was so great to see people, and maybe it's not so long between seeing people. So I'm grateful for that new facility and look forward to everything and the excitement that that'll bring here in Los Angeles, and as the Rams continue to put their footprint on the community and throughout Southern California.
Yeah, I love that. I pitched to Kevin Demoff, the Rams COO, last week, like a bar that I could open, like Ricky's Rum Runner or something. So maybe I'll have a side job, and it'll be like a Cheers spot where like you can just come into Woodland Hills, have a seat at the bar, and maybe that'll be my side job if I ever have time for that. So that is a work.
Hey,
that's a work in progress.
I'll be your number one customer.
Perfect. That is a work in progress, but I am gunning for that. I think it would be really fun. Omar, before I let you leave, I'm going to do the Ram Jam now, where I ask my guests the same 3 questions, rapid fire style. So if you were about to have your last meal on earth, what would it be?
Oh, I think it would be my mom's chicken mole. Mole, a good Mexican dish with the Mexican rice and the the chocolate sauce over the chicken. That's probably my favorite go-to meal.
Love that. If you could live in an amusement park, shopping center, or other fun place, where would you choose and why?
Does the beach count?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would like to live under the Santa Monica Pier. So I have the activities, the amusement park right there, but I love the beach. I love being connected with the sand and the salt water, and all that makes me feel whole and pure. So if I had to live somewhere crazy like that, it would be under the Santa Monica Pier, which I think people do.
Yeah, I feel like you could really make that a reality pretty easily. You could just go and camp out. I think that's great. Or lastly, what would a collage of your life include? We're printing out photos to hang on the collage of Omar Ruiz.
Oh, it would be of my family, of course, my wife, 3 kids, our travels. We love to travel, and football. Sports is a huge part of our lives. Obviously the NFL and everything else that the Dodgers and my alma maters and March Madness. All that's just such a big part. So I think between those 3 things, that would comprise a huge collage of Omar and his family.
I love that, and I think the pier poles could take a tack. We could hang that up, under the pier. I think that would fit there. Omar, thank you so much for your time. It's so good to see you. Give my love to your beautiful family. Have fun tomorrow at a NFC West divisional showdown. I'm not sure which way I want it to go, but we can talk about that off air. And that does it for this week's Ricky's Ram Jam. I hope everyone has a beautiful, happy, healthy, full of food Thanksgiving, and just spread the love for the Rams. Enjoy your Thanksgiving day, and we will see you on Sunday against the Cardinals in the desert. Let's go Rams. Let's go Jammies. I am thankful for you as well. All right, guys, let's ram it.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on our videos.